I'm making sure we were on here. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Holy crap, what a weekend. Anyway, I hope everybody is doing well, and I hope you guys have had a really good weekend. We had an amazing weekend here. Obviously, missed the members who weren't able to make it this weekend, but overall, it was just it was quite incredible with what we got done here. Again, and I say that every time. I will tell you that, and but we'll talk a little bit about that a bit, and then we will eventually get into topic. I promise. But anyway, before we jump into anything on here, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches will boot you out of here because we are not going to have it. So, actually, I gotta do. Hold on a second. I gotta kill the volume on my phone. So just give me a moment here. All right. Whew. All right. So I hope, like I said, I hope you guys have had a good weekend and hope it's been productive. Now I got to tell you. So before we get into anything, so no soapboxes. Not nothing bad. Nothing bad this time. Uh, did Dave get his wood stove? You're not. You're probably thinking the wrong person. Dave doesn't have his building down here yet. Mark did get his wood stove set up, and there's a bunch of videos coming that I have done, and you'll be seeing them over the course of this next week. So you're going to be seeing a lot of updates from the weekend. So I don't want to give a lot of it away, so you guys can just kind of see everything as we've done it, over the course of this week. I did do a bunch of videos. I think I got one more video to do, which will be like Thursday. That video will be up. But Mark, yeah, Mark has the deer blind, and he does need to get one more extension, 3 foot extension, so of pipe, so he has the correct height over the top of the deer blind. But that will be happening next month, and nobody's going to be burning a fire in his wood stove between then and the time everybody gets together next month. So, but all right, JG, you want to take care of this David individual, please, and thank you ahead of time. So anyway, uh, it is. It's like I said, this weekend was amazing again. I know that probably some of you were so tired uh, of hearing me talk about how awesome this group is, but I will never stop talking about how awesome this group is. Uh, some of you, so here's what I want to explain. Okay, some of you, if you've watched the progress of what we've accomplished as a group over, let's just say, the last 5 months. Let's just talk about over the last 5 months. If somebody watches that, some of you are going to get it. Because some of you are going to realize the work that's entailed in what we've accomplished and what we've done. Some of you will never get it because some people sit on the couch, are armchair quarterbacks, and talk a great game but never do a thing. Uh, and I want to just point this out too. Most of the people in our group, we got a couple of younger guys. We got 2 guys that are in their mid 20s. Everybody else is 40 plus that's in this group. So we got a couple of young guys. Everybody else in this group is 40 and older. All right. So we're not talking about a bunch of 20-year-olds that can go out and work all day and do all kinds of physical labor and then go drinking all night and then get up in the morning and go do it again. As we get a little bit older, we have to pace ourselves. Okay. So, but the thing is, it's that coming together and getting things done and working together that is absolutely amazing. So it's I look at what we do and what we get done and get things squared away, and it blows my mind. It really, honestly, it really does. And I have an amazing, wonderful group of people that have come together, and it's just it's been I can't even put it into words. Uh, you know, like we worked this weekend on the pavilion. We actually got done what we wanted to get done this weekend on the pavilion. Uh, we also had time for the guys to work on their individual places. You know, Rob got a chance to spend some time in his place figuring out what he wants to do and stuff like that. Uh, you know, Bud Bud is still here. He continued to work on his place, and like he's going to be leaving in the morning. Mark got a chance to really get some work done on his place. And we also had other projects. Now, the weather wasn't as cooperative as we would have hoped it to be, but that happens. But I will tell you, the wood pile that you saw out there, which 7 loads that we brought in, like 3,000 pounds plus per load of lumber that we brought in. We have processed most of that, and I'm going to give a shout out, and I'm going to put it out there ahead of time. Primarily thanks to Jimmy. Jimmy busted his hump, worked amazingly hard, and unbelievable. And then he got a chance to work on some of the stuff he wanted to do around his place and stuff like that. So, but it's just everybody worked together, and that's key. And getting things done, and just it's incredible. But I don't want to give it all away, but he kind of tried to figure out, like today, when you will see today's video, the last video that I did today will probably be Thursday's 7 o'clock video. That could change. I don't know yet. I mean, if something comes up and I do another video on something else that's like pertinent to the time or the day, I may do that. So it may bump that video, but we probably processed, and he's guessing with what we've done this weekend. We probably did 6 cords of wood. Now, I'm not talking about face cords. I'm talking about cords. 3 face cord in a cord of wood. So basically, if you want to do it by face cord or a rick, we did probably 18 ricks of wood this weekend, or 6 cord of wood. A tremendous, tremendous amount of wood. I will tell you this. So my sister, I was actually just on the phone um, before I did the live stream, and I was telling her how much wood we had done, and she goes, "Well, what are you going to do with all that wood?" I said, "Beck," I said, "we have the pavilion. So right now at the homestead, we have 2 functioning wood stoves. We have the pavilion, and Mark got his wood stove set up. Okay, and you'll see that in the upcoming videos. Bud's going to have a wood stove in his building. Rob's going to have a wood stove in his building. When Dave gets his building in here, that's going to also have a wood stove. And it's moving on and on and on. And so we're going to have a bunch of wood stoves over time. In the wood that we did, we collected that wood together. We've cut up that wood together. That's for everyone to use. So, it's all stored right here, right now. But, it is, and eventually the Wolf Slayer here next door, that will have a wood stove as well. So we will have places, and when it's cold, you need to have wood and you need to have it ready. And so it's just, like I said, it's just, my group never ceases to amaze me. What we do, we set we didn't like set a goal. How much of the wood pile are we going to do? We just started doing it. And, I want you guys, when you see the final video of this weekend's get together, and you see how much wood is left, to go back and look at how much wood we had. And so it puts it more into perspective. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, amazing weekend. A lot done, and real happy about it. And so here's down the road game plan, right? We process the rest of that wood, and then we go get more. You can never have too much and stuff like that. Uh, did you hear of the solar heaters? Are they real? I have not heard of anything like that, Brad. I have no idea, to be honest with you. I don't know. Anything with solar, a heater, anything with like a coil and stuff like that, that's going to suck a lot of juice. So if there is like a solar heater, that would suck so much juice and it wouldn't last very long, realistically. So, you know, I would have 3 years worth of wood for at least 10 wood stoves. Well, also, like I said, again, what we plan on doing is getting as much in here as we possibly can uh, before the snow flies. And if we have to process it over the course of the winter, we'll be able to do that because if it's here. If we don't get it here, right, and winter comes in, we're not going through all the wood that we've cut. I'm telling you right now, there's no way we're going through all the wood that we cut this winter. But, you know, we need to make sure. And so here eventually, too, and just, hey, Mark, glad you made it home. Eventually, Mark will have, a woodshed. Bud will have a woodshed. Dave will have a woodshed. Rob will have a woodshed. Everybody that has a building, they will have a woodshed, there, and we'll make sure that it is, it's filled up. As like I said, as we can get the wood for free, right? Why would I go into my woods, cut down trees, and do all that if we don't have to right now? That wood is sitting there waiting for us to use whenever. When SHTF happens, I don't want to go, oh my God, we've already cleaned our woods out. We have no wood to use. If we can get free wood in the meantime and be able to process it and use that, utilize that wood, only two full-time residents at the moment. Exactly. And I don't have a wood stove in the camper. And, and Steve does not have a wood stove down in the big blue house. So, if him and I decide to cook something out in the pavilion, we have the pavilion, and that's ready to go whenever we would want to use it. So it's. But anyhow, what do we have? 426 already in the chat. We got 142 thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel, and I thank you ahead of time. Also, it does make a huge, huge difference with the algorithms. Which I think is important as well because the more interaction, the better it is for the channel. So I thank you for that reason. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right. So, so before we jump into this too, I want to put this out here ahead of time as well. Cheryl always comes every Saturday when we do our get-togethers, and she brings lunch for everybody, and that is awesome, and it's very, very much appreciated. Barbara had dinner, for us last night here, for the group, and then she had, leftovers, and she brought leftovers back today for our lunch today. So again, it makes it nice, honestly, when you're working on stuff and you can just stop and somebody's prepared that meal for you and you have it and you can eat and then you go, okay, let's get back and work on other stuff. Amazing. So ladies that had the meals for us, again, very, very, very much appreciated. Very thoughtful of you. And it definitely makes it nice. It really, really makes it nice. So, like I said, again, I just really, really, we have an amazing, amazing group, and I will continue to say that. And the group continues to grow, which I fully anticipate, that it's going to continue to grow even more. Especially with everything going on. People are nervous, and they should be nervous. What about putting up plexiglass? That's not a bad idea for the solar panels. That's a good thought, and thank you for saying that. I'm not sure what I want to do, especially if there's a chance of hail. Hail can eat up some solar panels in a hurry and not be a good thing for it. So, Mark says, I'd love to see us double or triple in size. And you know what? There's plenty of room, realistically, to be able to do that with no problem. Like all any future buildings that are going to be coming in here, you know, like a couple of guys are tucked into corners. Paul and Barbara have their spot picked out, and that's fine too. And if they decide they want to get a building in there in that spot, they're absolutely more than welcome to do so. But there I have all all kinds of woods, and a lot of places can be put in the woods. And so, but yeah, we're like I said, it's been wild. And like I said, there's some upcoming videos, and you're going to be like, "Holy crap, these guys!" Right? So, um, I don't even know where we're at with what's up and what I've showed you guys on the videos, just because the videos that went up today got put up. I think on Friday. I think I put those videos up on Friday so that they would just go off automatically. So I don't want to give away. There's something else coming up here that we did. I got actually. Let me just look at something real quick because, like I said, guys, I honestly don't even know. When we're busy, I just make videos and then I come in here and I just start getting them uploaded and getting them into place. Let me see what I have on here. Let me just look at this real quick. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. So I actually I did. You did see it the other day. Okay. So I can actually say it in the stream. I didn't want to give it away if I hadn't already told it. So Bruce and Johnson are getting a building in here as well. I didn't know if I had put that video if they had gone up yet. So we do have another building coming in. So right now we last month we had three buildings come in. This month we're going to have two more, hopefully two more coming in this month. And if it's not in this month, it'll be the very first part of um, uh, November. They should be in here. So what's your take in Iran and what should be our war preps? And Biden said no USA involvement. Um, it's well, basically there was a warning given today. All right, so now let's get into really talking about everything that's going on. There was a warning done. The Jen Boyles one, would you guys please take care of that, please? Because we obviously know what that is. So thank you very much, JJ. Appreciate it. Um, I, so you have today. We had said, put it out there that if Iran continues to be involved in what's going on with Hamas, that we will punish them. Right? I mean, that just came out, and we know that. And so it's just it's a big game that's being played right now. There's a lot of threats going on. You got China, and here's what's funny with that one. And China comes out and we're like, oh, we need to have some kind of a peace plan and blah 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 and all this type of stuff now. And I want you guys, look, we're going to put this into perspective, okay? Now we're not going to do this based on there's a lot of people, and I personally, honestly, this is a personal thing for me that I don't get and I never will get. I honestly don't get it, okay? But there is such a hatred by a lot of people, not all people, let me just say that, but a lot of people, there's this hatred of the Jews, right? We can agree on that, right? There's this huge hatred by a lot of people out there for the Jewish people. So we're not going to talk about it in that context. I want you to take it in a human context and think about it this way. If you were a group of people, okay, and you've been attacked for years and years and years, we're not going to take the Jewish thing out of it or the Muslim thing out of it. We're not going to talk about any of that part of it. But obviously, in this situation, it's a huge factor, right? We all know that. There's the whole dynamics of that region and everything like that. And I'm going to go with China in this one. If somebody had crossed over into China's border, right, crossed their border and butchered, um, butchered a ton of people. Yeah, that was an imposter one. Yeah, we know that, JJ. Yeah, an imposter. Oh, I'm sorry, freaking going off. But if somebody come into China and butchered men, women, and children. Cut the heads off of babies, just brutalize these people, and stuff like that. Oh, and we're going to talk about something else with that in just a second because I think it's an important factor. So, do you think China would say, "Oh, let's have peace. Let's go with peace, right? Let's not have conflict now. Let's have go to the peace table." China would be out for blood, like anybody else would be out for blood. That's a fact. That is a fact. I don't care what country it would be. If you take out the element of what it is and where it is, any country would have the same reaction that Israel is having right now dealing with Hamas. And I will tell you right now, and I've said it before, and I will say it again, in this situation of what is happening, I have 100% backing of Israel with what they're doing. They have every right to do what they're doing. You know, again, people, well, why aren't they letting humanitarian aid and people need help and blah, blah, blah? Why are they not letting that happen? Well, Israel said, if you release the hostages that you took, right? They kidnapped a whole bunch of people. If you release the hostages, we'll let humanitarian aid come in. So let me ask you this. So whose fault is it that no humanitarian aid is going into the Gaza Strip? Is it Israel's fault? No, it is not. It is Hamas's fault, right? So, people need to look at it from a perspective of not just, well, it's the Jews against the Muslims, right? It's not about that. It's not just about that. There's a lot more to it. And I think people need to realize that when they're dealing with that type of situation. Um, you know, I don't blame Israel. They are actually, in my opinion, again, I'm just going to give you my opinion. I think they're showing marvelous restraint, giving the civilians a chance to get out. Because when there's 460,000 Israeli soldiers massed on that border, and when they go over there, their mission is to decimate Hamas and get Hamas out of there. Obviously, Hamas is telling people stay. Israel's telling people to leave. Well, they want them to stay because they want the civilian death toll Hamas does to be higher because it looks bad in the eyes of the world if Israel goes in there and starts killing a bunch of people that, are innocent, if you will, people. But again, is it not part of the Gaza Strip's fault that they have allowed these people, Hamas, to come in and do what they're doing, right? Is there responsibility on their part for allowing this to happen? Now, here's something I wanted to mention, and I think this is really, really important. So when Hamas came over and they butchered all these people, there was one factor that was a big difference of how that could have played out. Huge factor. Israel had not allowed their people to be armed. Only the Israeli soldiers were allowed to be armed. So if you were a civilian, you were not allowed to have weapons. So they were not able to defend themselves. Huge, huge factor that really you don't hear a lot about, but now Israel is over. They're giving their people rounds, and weapons to be able to use to defend themselves. So hold on, give me 1 second, guys. Let me get a hit of this, and then I'm going to tell you what I think also. All right. Now, with that situation, again, I've talked about this a lot. I have said this a million times. That kind of crap would not, yeah, and that's exactly why they were prime targets. Exactly, Don. That is why, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If somebody came in here and tried to pull that crap in the United States of America, okay, we have a lot of weapons in America, folks. A lot of weapons. A lot of you realize we have a lot of weapons because you have some of those weapons. You know how to use them. You go out and you shoot on a regular basis and you practice and you're ready and you're proficient. It's not something that sits in a corner waiting for a rainy day, okay? If scumbags came into America, and they're here, don't get me wrong, they're here. Sleeper cells are here. What a lot of these people don't understand is it's not just going to be waiting for the police to come and dispatch scumbags. Joe Average Citizen is going to come out of the woodwork. And oh, that Arizona tease. I mean, well, thank you, RC Kev. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for the donation. American citizens are going to come out of the woodwork, and they're going to dispatch these lowlifes. Guarantee it's going to happen. And so they're not just having to worry about if somebody, a sleeper cell or whatever pops up. And yeah, they can cause a lot of damage in a hurry. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely can happen. Would not be surprised. But their life expectancy would not be long because Joe Average Citizen, especially let's be honest, especially, right, in red states where we are allowed to defend ourselves, where we are allowed to open carry. Uh, when I moved here to West Virginia, I'll tell you, and this is something that I want you to think about. I talked I talked to a local guy down here when I was first, when I first bought the property and I was coming down here and all that type of stuff. And I talked with him, and he said to me, he goes, "Not a lot of fights in West Virginia." I go, "Really?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Why is that?" He goes, "Because everybody figures that everybody else is armed, so they don't want to get killed. So that's why there's not a lot of fights because so many people are carrying down here." Okay, there's only two places, guys, down here that I don't carry my weapon. Okay, or I'll leave it in the truck until I get out. I don't carry it when I go into the bank, and I don't carry it into the post office. Those are the only two places. Wherever else I go in here in West Virginia, you guys see I open carry. Have it on my side. It's right there. If I need to use it in a situation, and there's a ton of people that I see all the time that are carrying. Um, some people conceal carry. I know what to look for, so I'm watching, and you can tell who's carrying. Okay, there's a lot of us here, so that kind of crap that just happened in Israel wouldn't go the way that bad guys would want it to go because, and somebody just said here, Ed, an armed society is a polite society, and you are 100% correct. Bad guys don't fear going to jail, folks. They don't care about cops. What bad guys need to worry about, what they need to be afraid of, is the citizenry that is able to defend themselves. That's what bad guys should be worried about. Because cops got too many rules, right? I don't have no rules. There's no rules say that if you take a shot at me, that I can't come up and shoot you 5 times and make sure you're never getting up again. Okay? We're not bound by this crap that goes on in our society right now. And again, most people that are armed, most people that have weapons in the United States, well, let me rephrase that. The law-abiding citizens that are armed and have weapons in the United States, we're not the ones going out there shooting everybody up. Okay, it's mentally altered, mentally disturbed people that go out there and harm people for whatever reason, whatever their agenda is, whatever their perceived wrong is. Those are the ones that do that. So a lot of the stuff that goes on in other parts of the world because the government has disarmed their people won't happen here. Won't happen here. So it's not like they got to worry about, oh, well, there's this military base over here and the police station is over there. Here's a quick thing, okay? The police are minutes away when you have seconds to react. I want you to think about that. Think about that statement. The police are minutes away when you have seconds to react. If you have your wife and your child, or if you're a mother and you have your child with you, all right, and some idiot decides that that's the day he's going to go off and hurt innocent people, do you not want to be able to take care of the situation yourself, to protect yourself, to not be panicking and trying to shield your child while this idiot comes up and shoots you and then shoots your child? I want to be able to defend myself. That's where I want to be. Um, I'll tell you a true story that happened. I was having a conversation. I was at a Chick-fil-A, and I think I talked about this before, but I'm gonna reiterate this story one more time. And I was out and we were having something to eat at Chick-fil-A, and there was a couple, and I think they had somebody had a Yankee shirt on, right? And so, me being a huge Yankee fan that I am, I said I said, "Are you a real fan, or you just have the shirt?" And that's how the conversation started. We started talking for a minute, and they were from Ohio, and so I had to get back up and go grab more ketchup. So as I'm coming back through, we started talking again, and they had a foreign exchange student. Hey, Troy, if Hamas is so tough, why do they hide behind women and children? Exactly. That's a great point, too. That's a great point. That's what scumbags do, Troy. Thank you very much for the donation, and that is a great question. So they had a foreign exchange student with them from Germany, young girl from Germany, maybe 15, 16 years old. So we were talking, and he was like, "Yeah, she noticed right away that you were armed." And I said, to them, we're having this conversation, and I said, I said, I carry not only to defend myself, but also defend you guys too. If somebody came in here and started being stupid, I said, most people are going to run this way. I'm going to go towards the danger because that's my mentality, that's my mindset, and I'm going to protect people. So some guy that was no part of our conversation was standing there. He turns around. I'm going to take a guess and say bleeding heart liberal. That's just a observation on my part. And he says, "I don't need you to defend me." And I looked at him and I said, and this is my response to him, guys. I looked at him and I said, "Sir, but I would do it anyway." Well, he had nothing to say to that because I didn't get mad. I didn't get upset. I didn't engage in what his self righteous rage or whatever the case may be. I just told the truth. No matter what you think or what you feel, if somebody came in there and started shooting, you're going to be glad for people like me and other Americans that are armed, that will neutralize a threat and keep you and your family alive. And you know what they would do after a situation like that? They would come up to you and they would thank you. They absolutely would in a heartbeat. And you know what? That's how you shut somebody up that is ridiculous. So, but anyway, the reality is what happened in Israel, realistically, the numbers could have been avoided. The loss of life could have been a lot less if the citizens had been allowed to defend themselves, to be able to have weapons, to be able to take care of that threat that came in there. I'd like Ed and Rick Grimes on my team, the zombie apocalypse. I like that. Well, thank you very much. See, the thing is, and I will tell you this, it's, in all honesty, guys, it's not about being a tough guy. I don't consider myself a tough guy. I don't think that I'm a tough guy. I don't think that, well, I'll do this or I'll do that. It's a matter of, in my opinion, it's a matter of duty. If somebody comes in there and wants to hurt innocent people for no reason whatsoever, other than just to get a big old body count, right? If I'm able to defend myself and not be a victim and not put myself in a situation to be victimized, that's what it's all about. And again, it's amazing to me how many people don't have that mindset, or they think that they're going to be just safe and, well, the police will protect me. Again, like I said before, um, hey Ed, do you think New York is sinking? I don't think so. I, Now I know that, like, on the island, you're talking about New York City. I'm assuming um, they're overbuilt. Definitely on the island, there's definitely issues as far as that goes. Absolutely. So, but you know, yeah, it's Israeli teachers have rifles. Oh, okay. Well, that I did not know, but I know that what happened there. Um, and it was a holy day. It was, a holiday for the Jewish people, and it was a weekend, so nobody was at school. So, but very sad situation. I mean, you look at, okay, let's look at Texas. Let's use Texas for an example. Who remembers the video of that idiot with the shotgun coming into the church, shoots one guy, and a parishioner who was, had asked permission from the pastor if he could, be security for people. He dispatched that guy with one shot to the head with a pistol, right? If that guy had not been there, and there was two of them, I believe, that were there that were armed to help make sure that people were safe. If they hadn't been there, how many people would that idiot have killed, right? So, you have to think about those things. It's reality. It's unfortunate, but there is a church near me has a local police there every Sunday, and it's sad, neighbor Bob. It's sad that we have had to come to that situation now. Yeah, as many people as he had bullets. Exactly, Don. It's exactly, or until somebody dispatched him. So, it's these things happen all the time, guys. And this is what kills me. The trusted news media, right? Uh, they don't like to talk about those situations, or like the situation in Minnesota where the young man, and it was a young man that did it up in Minnesota, dispatched the shooter up there before he could get his count up higher. And it was amazing because you have to think about the situation that he was in the level of stress, and you have what was going on. And I think I don't remember how many shots that he fired, but I know he hit his target. I think it was like 8 times, which is amazing. Um, awesome, awesome job. Yeah, Mall of America. Yeah, yeah. But they didn't. Did the media talk about how awesome it was that there was this armed individual that had the right to protect himself, that was there, that happened to be there, and be able to do that? I'm going to tell you, and I see this, I'll walk into malls, you know, and you'll see no firearms in the mall. All right. Well, if they don't see it, so you cover it up. I'm not going anywhere unarmed. Like I said, other than the bank, because obviously I don't want to walk into the bank with a gun on. Yes, and he was young too, Don. I mean, he was like 23 or something like that. But you know how many lives he saved that day? It's amazing if you think about it. But the news, they didn't really put it out there like they should have put it out there, right? They didn't put it out there like that. But so it's just, we live in a time, unfortunately, where people get their jollies off of hurting other people, and there needs to be more people out there, and they're willing. I will guarantee you this: they're out there and they're willing to stand up for people that don't like guns, or don't, or uncomfortable. My thing is this: you know, I don't, if you're uncomfortable because I have a gun on me, that's a you problem. That is not a me problem. And so, you have states like New York, where I came from, right, where it is you have to jump through hoops to be able to have a gun and get your permission. Again, I looking at the Second Amendment, and I've read it. If you guys read the Second Amendment, shall not be infringed, right? That's what that says. Shall not be infringed. It doesn't say in the Second Amendment that they can make up laws like they do in New York, where you're only allowed to have a 10-round magazine, and out of the 10-round magazine, you're only allowed to have 7 rounds in the gun at any one time. Well, here's what happens when that situation, folks. I just put it out there, right? Do you think the bad guys that are going to go out there and hurt people go, oh, we're not allowed to have a 30-round magazine, so we better not do this or we're going to get in trouble? They don't care. They don't care. So, yeah, my rights don't end where your feelings begin. Exactly, Dale from Ohio. Exactly. And I'll tell you what, I get looks, and I don't care. You know, they generally don't engage me. I will tell you that too. I don't generally get engaged. People don't usually say, I'm not comfortable with that. They don't. They never do that. They just give you that look like, well, too bad. You know. And I'm going to tell you what, I don't act any differently out in public because I have a gun on me or if I'm unarmed. I act the same way I always act. I talk about, you know, I engage people like I normally do. And just because I happen to be armed doesn't make, I don't walk around. I don't have my gun on there and walk around like, here I am. I don't do any of that. It's there. It's a tool. That gun on my hip is the same to me as the lighter that I keep in my other pocket, The Swiss Army knife that I keep in my other pocket and the thing of chapstick. It's a tool. They're there because they're a tool. That's what they are, and that's exactly the way I look at it. It's what's that old saying? In case of emergency, break glass. That's what they're there for. So, and I hope I never have to use it. I will. Let me put that out there. I don't have some wish or desire to be in that situation. I hope I'm never in that situation. But if it ever comes up, I want to be able to do something about it and not be a victim. I don't want to be a victim, especially to a lunatic. That would be like the most humiliating way to go out. Um, you know, but like West Virginia is a constitutional carry state, open concealed carry. You can do either one, whatever you're comfortable with, and I like that. I like that, and and again, you know, we don't have that. I mean, there's always going to be crime. Let me just put that out there. There's always going to be crime, but I'll tell you what, there's a lot less that you have to deal with because of that. So, but yeah, right. Do you think the colonists would have been restricted to only 10 musket balls? That's what kills me, And they always do it. They always do it in the guise of safety. Remember that. Everything to disarm you, that's the ultimate goal. They want all of us to be disarmed because then we're just a bunch of victims waiting to be, look at history. That's all you got to look at. Saw a guy with a gun on him the other night at a buffet. I felt safer because of it not in danger. RC Kev, thank you very much. Appreciate the donation and thank you for the statement. And that's what you should feel, honestly. As a civilian, when you see another civilian out there, um, you should feel safer going, man, okay, somebody else here is considerate of other people and willing to protect other people as well. And that's, but they use fear, and they use, I mean, and this is what kills me. If you go into any of these cities, you know, you go into New York City, Chicago, all that, you need to be afraid because they have these very restrictive gun laws. They don't want you to be able to defend yourself. And so the criminals go, I have no fear. The criminals have no fear. But so let's go back. What are we at here? 563 in the chat. We're at 313 on a thumbs up. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do so to show support for the channel. Hey, Kate Bird Prepper, thank you very much for the donation. I appreciate that. It really makes a huge difference with the algorithms as well. So if you shoot that thumbs up, I do appreciate it for that reason as well. It puts us up higher in the rankings. And trust me when I say this, YouTube restricts the channel enough. They're very good at doing that. So, any thoughts about the United States slowly becoming divided states of America? We'll talk about that in a second. It's a good question, and I do have an answer for that I want to talk about. But also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. As well. So I do appreciate that, and again, like, comment, share. I appreciate all those things. So thank you. So, divided states of America. It's a good question, but here's what the reality is. Okay, you have people in every single state. West Virginia, New York, California, Florida, whatever, any of the states in the United States, you have some people that have a mindset where they want everybody to be disarmed. They don't want guns anywhere, which is the stupidest thing because then only people that would have guns would be the cops and the criminals. But that's another story. And then you have people like myself and like a lot of people, probably a lot of the people in this chat that feel that we need to be able to defend ourselves. So it's not going to be, in my opinion, this state going this way and having this thought because, well, I'll tell you what's happening realistically. You look at a lot of states that are blue states and higher taxes, very restrictive gun laws, the whole 9 yards. A lot of issues, right? What are people like myself Now, I'm going to tell you what, I left New York for a myriad of reasons. Myriad of reasons. Taxes, gun laws, the weather, all factors. But I loved parts of New York for certain reasons, and I hated New York for other reasons. And, being from upstate New York, people automatically, when you say New York, they think, oh, you're from New York City? No, I lived 400 miles away from New York City. But the thing is, a lot of people like myself that have the mindset, we get out, we leave. Look at the max exodus out of California. Look at the celebrities, right? The bleeding heart liberal celebrities that have gotten out of California because the taxes got too high. And then, like morons, right? A lot of them, not all, let me just say, not all, but a lot of them, like morons, go to their new state and they go, hey, let's turn this state blue and put the same laws that destroyed the state that we just came from in place. Insanity to me, to me. So, you're seeing a lot of people get out of the states that have a different mindset, and so but New York is just. I mean, the policies that they've put into place up there is insane. The catch and release, that nonsense. A lot of these businesses allowing theft to go on without trying to persecute these people and put them in jail and keep them in jail. So yeah, we'll do. Thank you, JJ. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because I can get on my soapbox with that one because it drives me insane with that one. So all right, let's do egg count. Yes or no for Miss Thickneck, and let's keep those thumbs up coming. Go ahead and starting right now. So go ahead and get your guesses, and we will go from there. All right. So I'll give you guys a moment to get your guess. And I can hear it's raining again now. Had a lot of rain this weekend. Today was off and on. Yesterday was off and on. Today was definitely colder. Today was more windy as well. So I'll give you guys a moment to get your guesses up there, and we will go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and. Well, it sounds right now, Dawn, it sounds like a fairly steady rain, which is good. We've been so short on rain over the last 2 months that, and that's actually, in one way, it's been a good thing because we've been able to get the sites ready, get the buildings set up, and all that type of stuff, and haven't had to worry about any issues, things being too soft and, like with dragging the building down and that type of stuff. It's been really, really good that in that perspective. All right, so if you had the same exact guess as Dale from Ohio with two eggs and no for Miss Thickneck, then you are 100% correct. He was an early guess and he was right on. So I didn't want to give a tell and have a drink right away. So I waited, and that's why I had my drink later. But congratulations to Dale. You are the winner tonight. You've won absolutely nothing, and I'm sure you're happy about it, but that's okay. You know, so yeah, it's winner, winner, chicken dinner. Uh, so, but is that your first, Dale? I think that might be your first time winning in the live stream, I believe. But you'll have to let. No, it's not your first. Okay. Well, congratulations anyway. But yeah, when we eventually get chickens here, which is going to happen probably next year, probably in the spring, is my guess. Um, we had we do so when we do our get-togethers, we sit down and we have a meeting every time, and we talk about one of the things we talked about prioritization for next year. What do we need to do here next year? We did a lot this year. So, hey, RC Kev, how long have you had your camper, and what kind is it? Um, the camper is a couple years old. It's been here now. Actually, I just had a thing come up, and it was, it's like it showed that like 2 years ago, like it was yesterday or the day before, that we had brought the camper down here, and so camper's only a couple years old, and it is, oh my god, I can't think of the name of it. It's like something with a wolf. I can't think of what it is. What it's called. You'd have to look on videos because I show the camper all the time. That's got the name of it out there. But yeah, it's this camper's awesome, and I know that like I said, people keep saying, when am I going to get a building in? I do plan on getting a building in time, but right now, I can stay in this camper for a couple years if I needed to. So but it's very comfortable. It has everything that I need. What I will probably do like next year, I want to get an awning over the top of this camper to help protect it so that it lasts longer, and and do that. So I may do also is I may do like an addition in the front here. Like the camper's 27 foot, so maybe do a 30 foot lengthwise addition, and then out, and then put a wood stove in there, and be able gray wolf. Okay, yeah, yeah. Because I actually, it's funny. Mac just said it's a gray wolf black series. Now, how do I know that he know? How did he know that? Because I saw his flashlight coming out because he's in the wolf's lair, and he came out and went out and looked at it. So thank you, Mac. Appreciate that. But RC Kev, the camper sounds awesome. It's got everything I need. Like I said, the only thing, last year before I got it skirted and got the windows taken care of, so we had that one cold stretch, and that really made a huge difference. It was bad. It was bad. But once I got it skirted and got the windows taken care of, it really holds the heat pretty decently. And obviously we go through some propane, in the wintertime here all summer. All summer, I don't think I used one 20-pound tank of propane because I'm only using it for, yeah, it beats living in a tent. Exactly, Delbert. Exactly. And like I said, it's comfortable. So, but no, I like the camper. It's like I said, it's me and Hella, and we're, but it's not a skirt, it's a kilt. Yeah, right. Uh, anyway, going back to what we're talking about, the situation right now, I don't blame Israel one bit in when they go in there. And I'm not saying go after the citizenry if they don't have to, and they're trying to keep the loss of civilians down to a bare minimum. But going after Hamas and destroying them, 100%, wipe them out. Get their tunnel systems out of there. There's an extensive tunnel system over there and everything else that's going on. Um, you know, and that's their goal. And they have 460,000 soldiers sitting at the border waiting. And again, soften them up. That's what they've been doing. You don't go in there when they're all hardened in and ready to go. You don't let them get in. See, what I think a lot of people don't understand with war. A lot of it's psychological. You look what we did during the Gulf War, right? What, 41 or 42 straight days of bombing. We owned air superiority. There's nobody was shooting anything down out of the sky. They had no planes to counteract our planes. So we hit them day after day after day, which means no sleep. You never know what's going to happen. They're going after the infrastructure, so the power's out. There's no water. All those psychological factors are hugely important, and people don't realize it because you haven't been without it for really any extended period of time. And so all those things. No food deliveries coming in, any of that type of stuff. It's all part of it. It's all part of it. Softening the target up so that when you go in and your people are rested and they're ready to go, you're fighting a weakened opponent psychologically right off the get go, and that's what they're doing right now, and that's exactly how they should do it. And when they go in, I would hate to be Hamas because they're going to get their butts handed to them. I really, will there be Israeli soldiers that are killed? Yep, there sure will be. Okay, but you know, they're looking. They've probably shown those soldiers what the rest of us did not see. And I will tell you what, that'll harden your heart. Okay, When you see people butchered the way that they butchered those people, it will harden your heart. How do I get a membership? I don't see an option on mobile. I don't know if you can do it through a phone to become a member of the channel. I think you have to do it through a laptop or something to that effect. So, but you know, hey Robert, good to see you. Glad you're here. But yeah, the booby traps. Mikey G said, yeah, booby traps would be bad. Yep. But like I said, you have to. There's a lot more to it. I mean, there's a lot more to all of that. So, oh, Denise said she used her phone for a membership. Well, if you want to become a member, you go to my main page here on the channel on YouTube, right? Prepper Nurse One. You'll see a join button, or you should see a join button, and once you hit that join button, if you want to be part of the private live stream, which will be tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, that's for hardcore members only. That's how you do it. And I do a private live stream for my hardcore members every Monday night from 8 to 9, and that's strictly for them. And where I'm able to answer whatever questions, it's a lot more personal, and it works out really, really nice that way. So it can be done on my phone. Okay, so yeah, you can do it on your phones. And okay, yeah, I've had some people say that they had a problem with it. So, but yeah, so that's how you can do that. So, and there's 3 levels of membership, and whatever if you become a member, it's very much appreciated, and I thank you for that. So, okay, okay, I've had people say they couldn't find it or they couldn't get it on their phone. So I guess you guys are proving me wrong. So I don't know. I haven't done that on my phone because it's my channel, so I don't really know. But date on the cheeses, I have no idea. Well, they're sealed, so it's not like the package is open. Yeah, I never ended up putting them out this weekend. We were unbelievably busy this weekend, guys. We really, really were. Wishika said she used her phone for the membership. Okay, so I guess I'm wrong there. So I apologize for telling you misinformation. Uh, but yeah, like I said, that's a good question. How long until we're involved? I think that absolutely is a possibility. I hope it doesn't happen. Okay, and Dawn just said we are already involved with putting our ships over there and putting them in that situation. It's more of a deterrent for anybody else that wants to engage and start messing with Israel. So they know that we have Israel's back, and we've always historically have had Israel's back. Hey, Asif, you want to make sure YouTube app is updated. There you go. Okay, so that's if you're looking to join, make sure your app is updated on your phone. That's good information, and thank you very much, Asif. I appreciate that. Oh, and I'm going to put this out here again, just because I did talk about this before. Because of a small handful of people that have bad intentions, don't think that everybody that's Muslim is some kind of insane terrorist that wants to kill everybody, because they're not. Islam is a religion, like Christianity is a religion, like Buddhism is a religion. All there's what? How many religions out there? 300 or more out there. So you can't lump everybody into the same category because of a small percentage of people that want to do something bad. All right, so please remember that. So when you see somebody on the street, that is, if obviously you can tell that they're Muslim, don't treat them with disrespect, because they probably had nothing to do with anything. You know, treat people with the way you want to be treated. Treat them with respect. Treat them with dignity. Because I remember after 9/11 happened, that people were attacked because they were Muslim, which is the biggest, stupidest thing to me ever. Because why is it somebody's fault just because I happen to be in the same religion? So remember that, okay? You know, but just something to think about. But they want us divided. They want us separated. They want us all hating each other, and so they do everything possible. And who is they, right? Whoever really runs this country. Because if you look at it, whoever's giving the marching orders for the, you know, news networks, and they're reading off those scripts, and this is what we're going to push, and this is the agenda. Somebody's handing them that script. Those commentators that you see those commentators that you see on TV from the trusted news networks, you know, they're given a script. And if they go off that script, right? If they go off that script, they're not on that job anymore. So they're told what to say. If they want to keep their job, they do what they're told. So, you know, but 30 to 40,000 Christian denominations alone, Robert's saying. Okay, well, that's a lot. Yeah. You know, and everybody's got a different flavor, and again, whatever works for you, great. That's wonderful. That's the way I feel. If you're happy with it and like that, then that's wonderful. I think that that's a great thing. So, but let's not judge, right? Judge not, lest ye be judged. I remember that's a scripture. So, you know, respect other people. I think that's important. So, anyway, but it doesn't look like all the pro-Palestine protests are people to worry about. Oh, does it look like? Um, I, you know what? No, because a lot of them will never lift a finger to do anything. You know, they just like to make themselves heard and you know and beat their chest and it's like any of these protesters out there. And like I said, I'll be honest with you, personally, I can't stand protesters. Period. That's just me. I don't like protesters, even if it's something that I believe in, because I don't ever really see, other than if there was like the Yellow Vest movement. That was a protest because it was something that was affecting a lot of people, and so you had masses amount of people in the street. Okay, you know, when you see the protest of, you know, this is our right to do this or whatever, you know, they're usually not huge crowds. And then you have, I mean, you look at when everything was going on and you had Antifa, right? And then you had groups like the Proud Boys and all that type of stuff, you know. It generally doesn't end well. It generally doesn't end well, especially if there is an agenda by an administration to crush and destroy an organization. Think about it, right? If you're part of an organization and they deem you to be troublemakers, they're going to make sure you're gone. They're going to make sure that you're not going to be around to cause trouble. And they're going to discredit you. They're going to make you look bad, and they can do that very, very easily, no matter who you are. And even if you're squeaky clean, you know, if the media says it, people believe it. So I do believe. Okay, how-to video says, Ed, any thoughts on sleeper cells? We'll do shout-outs in just a second. I do want to address that. I do believe that there are sleeper cells in this country. I think that they are waiting for whatever orders that they're going to be given to do what they want to do. You look at the fighting age young men that are coming across the border with no children, with no wives, from a lot of countries that don't like the United States of America. So something to think about. But there definitely, I do believe that there are sleeper cells out there uh, from a lot of different things, a lot of different places, just waiting. And you know, they have an agenda. They absolutely have an agenda. So uh, nothing would surprise me, to be honest with you. I know that the FBI, or no, Homeland Security, uploaded a very credible threat that there could be terrorist attacks in the country. I know that that's been put out there, so we definitely should be paying attention to those things. Um, Situational awareness, guys. If you're out in public, be ready to defend yourself. Watch what's going on around you. Pay attention. You know, really, really important. Keep your head on the swivel. Watch what's going on. Don't be locked in. I see so many people like this. They're walking around, and they're messing on their phone, and they're not paying attention to what's going on around them. You always have to pay attention to what's going on around you. Really important, because you don't know who has bad intentions or doesn't have bad intentions. So that's something to take into consideration. All right, we're going to do some shout outs. Okay. Uh, First of all, we have Heavenly Hills Homestead, a smaller channel. I would ask you to please support them. Growing Giant Vegetables, really good people, and Ryan's a good dude. Uh, Ikican up in Canada, again, another really good guy living off grid up in Canada. Definitely check him out as well. You have Angry Prepper, it's Jason down in New York City. Again, Jason is amazing, good guy, really just he's real, and that's the best thing I can say about him. What you see is what you get. You have Alaska Granny. There is Alaska Prepper as well, and he is awesome as well. Rudy, um, real good channel, a lot of good information. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance, two different channels, same guy. A lot of good information on his channel. Watching him build up in Canada is amazing. Unbelievably skilled individual. You have Demcat. There is Corporal's Corner, Bjorn Hansen. You have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. There is Bizariz Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles. Really interesting story. A lot of good information can be taken out of those stories. There's Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out on the West Coast. You have Magic Prepper in North Dakota. There is Wrangle Star. That's Cody. Another really good channel. Good guy. Definitely worth a listen to. A lot of good information there. Red Poppy Ranch. There's Survival Lily coming at you out of Europe to let you know what's going on over there. There's Kyle's Cabin with Kyle and Sierra living up in Minnesota, living off grid, showing you how to do it up there. There is Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband wife team, two different channels, real good people, um, splitting their time between Michigan and Alaska. Let's see, we have Green Greg's, another good channel, chock full of good information. Southern Prepper 1 with his Boots on the Ground series. A lot of good information there as well. You have Gray Man Prepping. Truly Tara, 76. Um, it's a makeup channel, but she's a good person, and I would ask you to go show her some support. And if if the ladies that are watching, if you would do that, I would appreciate that. It's going to help her channel out quite a bit. Let's see, we have Doug and Stacy, another really good channel, chock full of good information, and they're really, really good people as well. The Nomadic Movement down in Panama, a young couple down there, and right now they're traveling in the States. I haven't really caught up on their videos, so I don't know what's going on, but they got an interesting channel. There's the Green Dream Project out in Arizona, living in the desert, showing you what it's like to live in a desert and what it takes. Very interesting. You have Camping with Steve Wallace, doing stealth camping up in Canada. There is Bush Doctor Survival. You have Monkey Works. There's the Needy Homesteader. She's been around a long time. Good channel. You have Boss of the Swamp. Again, another guy who's been around a long time. Real amazing builder to watch what he does. You have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Diamond, smart guy. Definitely worth a listen to. There is Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. Straight shooter, says it like it is. I respect that. And let's see, where was I? City Prepper. There's Lumina Acres. You have Suspicious Observer. There is Bear Independent. You have the Uneducated Economist. There is Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma. There's Mary Greeley News, giving you all the latest updates of what's going on with Yellowstone and everything like that. Good information there. DAP 2030. There's Malachi's Corner. You have Ice Age Farmer. If you're going to get your weather, there's one guy to get your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall Y'all. Ryan Hall's a great guy, gives back to the community in a huge way. A lot of respect for him. There's Russell Brand. I like Russell Brand as well. Gives you the information and lets you decide what you want to do with it. There is Deep South Homestead, another very family-friendly oriented channel. A lot of good information as well that way. You have the Outsider up in Maine. There's the Fit Farmer. You have Prep the Rebel. There is Simple Life Reclaimed. You have Townsend's showing you what it's like to live in the 1800s. It's a good channel there. The Prepared Mind. You have Pinball Preparedness. There is the Economic Ninja. And last but not least, Little House Off Gritty. A lot of good channels out there, a lot of good information. I think we should be supporting each other. I know you guys have put other channels in the chat, which is absolutely fine. There's a lot of good information out there. I think we should look at different perspectives and different viewpoints. I think it makes a big difference with this. So what are we at? 403. We got like 10 minutes. Can we get to 450? I didn't. No, I haven't been setting a number. I should have set a number earlier on. But let's see if we can hit 450, which would be another 46 thumbs up, guys. So if you have not done so yet, please shoot a thumbs up to show support for the channel. Again, I thank you ahead of time. Really does make a huge difference with the algorithms. So I thank you for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you ahead of time for that. Again, with what Israel's about to do, they are absolutely, in my opinion, 100% justified with what they are about to do because of what happened. And, there's that they allowed it to happen, that they had the intel and didn't do anything about it. There's always going to be that speculation. Could that be true? It could be, but it could also be, again, misinformation being put out there. So I don't always take a lot of that as stock, because why would you let your people be butchered for nothing? I have a hard time thinking that any government would do that. Does it happen? I'm sure it does. Okay. But, I just, like I said, I always look at things and you have to take it with a grain of salt, because you don't know what's true or what's not true. Again, there's always an agenda. So sometimes things are allowed to happen so that we can have a reaction, right? We know that because at the end of the day, big business is going to benefit more than anybody else in any situation. It happens constantly, constantly. So we're 419, so we're 31 away. Let's see if we can hit that 450 before we jump off of here. So anyway, but I got a scratch. Sorry. But again, let's talk a little bit about the Homeland Security saying that there is definitely a threat of attacks here in the States. That doesn't surprise me at all, not at all. And so again, be smart, pay attention to what's going on, keep your head on a swivel, be ready for anything. If something doesn't look right, or if you get a gut feeling, if you're out someplace, and this, guys, has happened a lot. This has happened a lot. People have been out someplace, or they're going to go here or go there, and they go, yeah, you know what? I don't feel like going there. I don't want to go there. I'm going to go do something else. And then that place ends up being a place where there's an attack or something goes on. That's your gut. Always listen to your gut. If your gut tells you something's not right with it, or if you feel uncomfortable, I have been places before, and my gut was screaming at me, get out of here. And I will tell you what, I listen to my gut, and I get, because you don't know what the threat may be or what the situation may be, and you don't want to be jammed up in something. So, and again, three things, guys. It always comes down to three things, and I've always told people this too. It's people, places, and things. It's the people that you're hanging out with, it's the things that you're doing, and the places that you are. If you are in the wrong place at the right time with the wrong people, and you get jammed up, and now you're an accessory after the fact, you're in the car, right? Guy says, hey, I'm going to run into this liquor store real quick and get some liquor. And you go, okay, so you're waiting in the car, right? And then all of a sudden they come out and they got the bag of money or whatever, however they do it, and they've just robbed the place. You had no idea it was going to happen, but you were there and you were in the car. You are an accessory, and you can go to jail for armed robbery just like they will, because you're there. So always be careful with the people that you're around and what you're doing, and those type of things. So that's just something to think about ahead of time. So we're at 429. So now what do we need? 21 more, guys. 21 more thumbs up. Let's keep that rocking, and let's hit that 450 number. All right, let's do this. We are legion because we are many. We are all over the world. We're all over the country. Where is everybody from tonight? We got Philip in Melbourne, Australia in the house. Good evening, Philip. Uh, Rhonda in Dayton, Ohio. Brad in Missouri, Franklin County, Ohio. We have the UP of Michigan with Dawn, the beautiful Pennsylvania Wilds with Pennsylvania Granny. Inverness, Florida with Collide in the house. BC, Canada with Janet. California with Elaine. Texas is in the house with Sharon. We have North Carolina with Little Lone Prepper. Kathleen in Detroit. We got Dallas, Texas with Traveler. Leesburg, Florida with Joan. Uh, Buzzard Prepper in Tennessee. Antonio in Campbell, Missouri. Newfoundland, Canada with Mar. Northern Virginia with Robert. Central New York with Village Homestead. New Jerusalem, Florida. And we got Alabama's in the house. Virginia with Critter Lover. Juniper, Florida. Brian in Bath, England and UK. Thank you for staying up, Brian. Very nice of you to be here. Staying up late. Southern Indiana with Jamie, Michigan City, Indiana. We got Eddie from Utah with the Desert Yoda. Very nice. Middle of Michigan. Cape Cod, Mass. We got Nebraska with Sean. Kearney, Nebraska with DJ. There is morning light in West Virginia. We got Washington State with storm weather. Got Connecticut is in the house with Awesome Sauce. Alberton, Maryland, and eventually West Virginia. It's a wonderful state. We got Bubba One up in Michigan. Sharon from Hancock, Michigan. West Central Ohio with Dale. Our egg count winner of the evening, Cape Cod, Mass. We got Wyoming in the house with Mary. Troutman, North Carolina with Troy. Omaha, Nebraska with Larry. So again, guys, we're all over the country. We're all over the world. Huge amount of people. We got Carol down in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Jay in Kentucky. We're the ones that can make a difference. We can make a difference now, and we can definitely make a difference after SHTF because we will be teaching people how to survive. We have upstate New York is in the house. We got Rena down in Tennessee. Like I said, a huge network of people. If we ever came together, boy, what we could accomplish would be amazing. What are we at? 442, so we need 8 more guys to hit 450. So 8 more thumbs up. We're almost there. So Roanoke, Virginia with Dustin. Caldwell County, North Carolina with JK. South Central Kansas with the Scan family. But anyway, guys, I want to thank my moderators who do an amazing, amazing job keeping the chat clean. Very much appreciated, ladies and gentlemen, that moderate for me. You guys are awesome. Again, very much appreciated what you do. I appreciate all you guys being here supporting the channel. I do enjoy these chats, and I really just, it's a lot of fun. A lot of updating videos coming up over the next 3-4 days. So look for them. You'll see how our weekend went. I give you some updates on Bud's cabin, Mark's cabin, Rob's cabin. So you'll see all that information coming out, showing you what we accomplished and what we got done, like with the pavilion and everything else as well. So great weekend. Continuing to make good progress down here. And, trying to prioritize things and be as ready as we can be, which I do think is important. So we're getting there, slow and steady, but we're getting there. So, at 456, we blew past that. That's awesome. All right, guys. Also, please remember, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. The cats and dogs up in New York are doing well. Everybody's good up there. Family up there is good. So, but we have to come together. We have to stop letting these people divide us. And that's what they do all the time, especially using the news, the sensationalism, keep hating each other. They perpetuate that. You see that a lot, unfortunately. I don't think, if you don't think that there is an agenda, just watch the news and you'll see there's an agenda. The information that is given is not always all the information. That's a fact too, and everybody knows that that's a fact. They're giving, when did the news stop becoming about facts and start becoming about opinions? That's what I'm curious about. That's just a question I have. Also, guys, remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really, really important that you tell the people that you care about every single day how you feel. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to do, you can do it. The only one stopping you from achieving your goal is you. That's it, nobody else. If you stay positive and you stay away from the negativity, if you set realistic goals that you can achieve and then make them happen, it's the best way to shut people up too. When they tell you what you can't do, you know, just do it. It's amazing. So, anyway, be safe, everybody. Appreciate y'all being here. We're at 461, so we blew through 450. So that's awesome as well. Have a great week. Be safe. Pay attention. Keep prepping. Um, Very important. All right. So have a good night. I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse One out for now.